And welcome back to the WoT Pro League, match day number 20 of 22. Yes, that's right, we are almost at the end of a very long season that just seems to have whizzed by, frankly. And we are ready for our second game, which will be mousesports against SPALE from Finland. Both of these two teams gunning for a playoff place. SPALE just outside those top 6 spaces right now, but a win tonight could put them firmly back in contention to go to the DreamHack finals in a few weeks' time. mousesports, on the other hand, they have to win to try and keep up that pressure that they've got on Synergy. They've got a game in hand on them, and if they win tonight, that would put them on the same points. And Synergy also have to play WoT Pro in their last 2 games. So mousesports have a real shot at the top 2.
They do, indeed. Yeah. It's looking good for them at the moment. And looking at their remaining games, okay, they're playing against SPALE can be a tough one. Kastner can also be a tough one, but the last game is going to be 1 SPP, and I think that's going to be safe. I mean,
I can safely say Mouse, I think, will win their last 3 games. Their game in hand is against MYM, who are currently 4th. Yeah. We've seen them lose to WoT Pro tonight, and MYM also have to play Synergy as well. So MYM, they're struggling a little bit right now, which kind of helps SPALE in a way, because it gives them an opportunity to go above them, and they're just 3 points behind right now. So you know, 30 points, 27. There's any of those teams can still make it. I think there's like maybe 5 teams in the midfield group that could all still go to the playoffs. Krasnokar are in there, MYM are in there, SPALE are in there, and Evil Panda Squad just on the outside of it. But
it's going to be a tricky one.
It is going to be harder for them because they're 6 points adrift of the playoff spots right now. But our first game, as I said, or our second game this evening, will be Mouse versus SPALE. They are ready for tank picks, so let's get you into game number 1, which will take place on Prokharovka. Nice and open mat to kick us off with. And the tank picks will come in any second now. There you go. They're the first ones already in. In fact, it's a double 1390 from mousesports, and that's pretty much what you'd expect.
That's right. And you also see T2 Light in a 1390. So again, in a 1390, as usual, you're always going to see, I'd say 2 to 3 of them on Prokharovka and a T2 Light. Somewhat many times as well. I think it's just because you want to take the Lorraine artillery. Yep. And you have this additional 1 tier point then.
Yeah, and we saw
you can make a T1 to a T2 light then.
We saw that in the WoT Pro game earlier on. Yep. It's a devastating effect. It can be a thumping piece of artillery. 1,000 damage from the 1 shot. Getting 2,700 damage for WoT Pro in the hands of Las Vegas. When in doubt, get Las Vegas out. Credit to Twitch chat. So first round of tank picks have gone through those 1390s doubled up, and 1390 T2 light on the other side. We haven't gone through the lineups just yet, so why don't we do that right now, just as those tank picks have slowed down a little bit. You can see both sides have pretty substantial lineups, and they can only field 7 of these teams. So you know, with mousesports, we'll have to figure out who they pick out in the end. But for me, Puzzling will be one of them. Caswob will be another one to watch as well. Both of those two have been doing very well. Carmen and Snip, usual members of their team every week, as well as Vile. SPALE, on the other hand, again, another big lineup. But looking at tonight's lineup, they'll have Thierry in there. They'll have Agaha, Mokalumi, Watilla, Uralfish, Muppety, and Dovak in pretty much the set 7 that they've been using almost the whole season. The Kempi is the other one that they've had in and out of the team. I don't think he's in this evening, though, so we might not just see him.
No, he's not.
So, tank picks continue, and we've had another round of it from both teams. T69 and the M2 Light from Mouse.
M2 Light? That's surprising me.
What on earth? I don't think we've seen an M2 Light for, like, 16 games or something in the league. In fact, I can't actually remember the last time we saw an M2 Light. But okay.
I think, have you ever seen M2 Light? I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure if he actually meant M2 Light or...
I'm not sure if I saw one very early on in the league from Mouse, funnily enough, or whether that was in a different tournament I was watching online. It was certainly in a VOD that I was watching, but that's weird. But okay, Mouse are going to come out with the M2 Light. It's GW Panther. It's come out for SPALE with the T69. And
yeah, well, you carry on with the
T52 and the Storm Panzer 2 have come out for Mouse. So I'm still kind of confused a bit here as to why they've gone that route instead of the T2 Light. What do they think that M2 does over the T2?
I'm just opening both stats here, just like that we can get a overview what's happening here. So the T2 Lite has 150 hit points,
yes.
while the M2 Lite only has 140.
Yes.
The M2 Lite weighs more, so it weighs 11 tons, or maximum of 11 tons, while the T2 Lite only weighs 8 tons. The engine is smaller. The maximum speed is lower. The traverse speed is lower. That's good. The armor doesn't make much of a difference. There's 25 armor, but like 25, 25, 25. And the T2 Lite has 17, 15, 6. But again, it's a low tier tank, so against tier 8, it doesn't make any difference anyway. Shell damage isn't much higher. The penetration isn't higher. The rate to fire isn't higher. The view range is the same. The signal range is lower. But again, with models that can all be higher. But overall, I see the T2 Lite being a better tank there, to be honest.
I mean, that's why it's picked every time when you need a tier 2 tank.
That's it.
Interesting. So we'll figure out what's going on. They've also gone for a little bit of a different strategy between the two of them. There are 4 tier 8 tanks in the Mouse lineup. They've obviously gone for 2 1390s, but they've also gone for 2 T69s. A little bit unusual for Prokharovka, but not totally unusual. And the other side, the SPALE team have obviously not gone for 4 tier 8s because they've got the tier 6 GW Panther artillery rather than the Storm Panzer II, which is a 3. So they've had to go for a T2 Lite and two T52s in there, which are the tier 5s, and then their tier 8s are 2 69s and a 1390. So this could be interesting.
It will be. I'm still going over that M2 Lite. While the game loads, I'm just going to quick go and poke Carmen. He's offline. Damn it. He's playing at the moment. I was hoping he might find a second in between to tell me why the M2 Lite, because I have no idea. But for the next show, I'm going to find out.
Yeah, we'll find out. So we are on map number 1. It will be Prokharovka, the most open of the maps that we have in the map pool right now.
Yep.
Just the one train yard on the right-hand side of the long open expanse of the pummeled Belgian fields, or Russian fields, depending on which area we're in. And also the light village on the right-hand side in the centre, which they'll rush towards for some cover if they know what's good for them, that's for sure. WoT Pro did that in the last game.
We also saw from Mousesports against Dragonborns, but I think Mousesports against Dragonborns, that actually was the reason why the games ended draw, because Mousesports was on that side and Dragonborns can get over there. For this game, Mousesports is again heading towards us. So we'll take a look at SPALE's lineup first.
Yeah, SPALE actually going for a very defensive start to this with Thierry, Mokalumi, Uralfish all the way back, and Uralfish obviously in the artillery. Wattila taking up on the right-hand side of the road this time, not towards the train tracks. Instead, that's Muppety who's sped off there, along with Dovakin, as you would expect in those T-52s. And some artillery coming down on towards Muppety. Doesn't land, though. And Agahert just holding back, trying to spot through in the middle, through that right-hand side, left-hand side bush, as Carmen has taken a little bit of damage.
It looks like artillery did connect.
Yeah, it was. I think that was artillery connecting as well.
And now we see T-50-2 from SPALE pushing all the way through towards M2 Lite, taking M2 Lite down as well. He was spotted really early. That's why he's a bit too slow to get over there, and allowed SPALE to spot him really early. But now Dovakin is taking some damage.
Yeah, he has. He's down to 306. Oh, just managed to avoid that one. Decided to switch to the left-hand side at the right moment to avoid that shell coming down. Voids another one that goes flying past the camera. It's just literally, well, it's a warfield right out there for Dovakin, and he's got to do his very level best here to avoid it by twisting and turning and running as fast as he can, and has now got some cover and will head towards the tree. Nicely done by Dovakin. He has picked up the first kill of the round, and it was on a tier 2 tank, so no biggie as far as his opponents are concerned, but SPALE have a minor slim lead.
That's right. It actually opened them a small time window where they could have done a push, because 3 tanks were reloading after the T-50 ran away. So we saw Dragonballs do that in the last game, on Monday. They just baited 2 small tanks out, or baited a lot of shells with two small tanks. They emptied their clips, had to reload, and that's when Dragonballs made the push. We could have saw something similar here from SPALE, but they didn't decide to go to a bit too dodgy. And T-69s reload pretty fast and could have been done in time. So
yeah, with Muppety right now, he knows that Carmen is over by that tree, and Carmen had done had some damage done to him, which was 862 from his 1350. But yeah, Muppety just backing away from that now.
But that's the GW Panther is actually relocating towards the middle And if he gets far enough around there, he can get a good shot onto Carmen. Just shoot him right in his back. They could even one-shot him. But Carmen, he's lucky, because he doesn't actually know what's going on. But he's lucky, because the way he's positioned here, if the artillery shot does come from this area where it's heading to, the rocks are still there to cover him. So no big problems. He's trying some blind shots on some random bushes, trying to hit the T2 light even.
Yeah, there was a call from Devakin into Carmen for artillery.
But look at that GW Panther, that's amazing. That's why it's important to kill that M2 light. You were saying at the beginning, not such a big blow, and there we go, Eurofish. Finish him off Carmen with one shot right in his back. Awesome. That's just amazing. So that M2 light at the beginning, first of all, seemed not to be a big deal for Mouse. Well, actually, it was gone. That was eyes on that side. So they managed to relocate the artillery to that position and finish off Carmen. That's 10 tier points dead now. You can just sit back and relax. Amazing. Really, really good.
So SPALE have the advantage in map number 1. 10 tier points on the board, a 2-0 tank lead. And there's to lose. So they can play relatively cautiously now.
Ensk is now spotted from the T50-2, Moped in the middle. He has to watch out because the artillery has an awesome position there. And he saw Carmen just right in front of him just die. And there we go, house destroyed from the artillery. The GW Panther did try to connect, didn't manage. Lucky for Ensk that he had that big house there. He has to run there, but that's a good thing. He's getting away from his position. He's not going to be annoying around the middle anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. The GW Panther doing its job.
It looks like Mouse doesn't know how to deal with it because I think they're not 100% sure where the artillery is.
Just to show you right now, that's the artillery of Eurofish. And look how advanced he is for artillery. I mean, you just don't see that
but now,
very often.
Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, go on.
Because there's a big push here from SPALE. All went down onto Vatila. Vatila destroyed Viol in his T69, but then get picked up. No, Mokalima gets picked up. Vatila still on 1,200. Now Thierry is getting shot at. And he has to watch out, but on the other side, Defno is taking some good damage, down to 630 HP. Ensk also taking a lot of damage, so it looks really good for SPALE. Nice push, ganging up onto one tank, and now trying to focus down the other one.
Yeah, and the 52s are doing a really good job. Devakin and Mufti doing a really good job of distracting Mouse because they're just making a nuisance of themselves in the middle and giving them something to shoot at. Meanwhile, they then get picked off by a mixture of artillery and the heavy tier 8s who are coming, and there's another one. Watilla picks up the kill on Ensk, and Devakin destroys Kaswob, and they're going down like dominoes right now. Mouse are definitely going to lose map number 1 right now. They've got Snip and Death Noise left, but that is it. That's all she wrote for them because there's no way Death Noise and Snip can win this on their own. Just 2 of them remaining. One has 37 HP, the other one has 690 HP. Agaha, he is going to go down here to Death Noise. Was in that T2 light, so that's not much of a surprise.
No.
But here come the cavalry.
Yeah, there's 1 tier 8 against 2 tier 8s. And also 1 T50-2 against 2 T50-2s. No way they can do this.
I mean, got to go for the cap circle, which is exactly where they're going right now. But they're going to get flanked here. Devakin has got a really nice position. Stops down. Death Noise down to 118. Devakin wasn't quite good enough to win up the first one. But there we go. Watilla and Thierry confirm a 7-2 win. And GG, well played. Ensk confirms that that's exactly what just happened. SPALE played really well.
SPALE just SPALE'd mousesports.
They did.
Because that was a nice tactic. Again, a fast one. As we always know from SPALE, they don't mess around that much. Because normally teams would need 2 to 3 minutes to actually realize we can push our artillery there, do the kill, and then start doing the push on the middle. Yep. SPALE straight away saw, okay, this side's clear. Yep. Relocate, do the kill, do the big push. And there we go. And 2,211 damage done by Eurofish. I'm thinking. I mean, if we had an all-star game, which by the way isn't a bad idea, if we had an all-star game, I think Eurofish might well be in there for best artillery. Yeah. I mean, Dr. Chu will probably give me a hard time about that, but consistently all season long, Eurofish has been very, very high class. And also, I really like the game, the play of the T50-2s as well. Even though they didn't do much damage,
well, they were
annoying.
They were annoying. That's the point.
And they stopped. They both were alive.
They did. And the thing is, they were just constantly driving around in the middle like madmen, like they were in Formula 1 tanks or something, just as a distraction. And Mouse were like, oh, look, a couple of 52s. They're easy to pick off those, but because they're so fast and annoying, they're actually more difficult. Fire concentrated on them, and then actually the rest of the team ganging up on the Mouse guys was a really nice tactic. So a mixture of the 52s in the middle doing a great job, Eurofish doing a really good job. SPALE win the first map. Surprised? Yeah, really good. No. Interesting.
I see SPALE winning this one.
I wonder what will happen in the community vote as well. Don't forget, we have got the community vote, which we'll be checking in with Melly, not just yet, but soon at the end of the game. We'll find out whether you guys are right. So do let us know on facebook.com/WoT Pro League. You can also do it on Twitter as well.
Yeah.
At WoT Pro League. And, of course, WoTProLeague.com for all your results, videos on demands, and the fixtures, the all-important fixtures, because next week is the final week of Season 1's World of Tanks Pro League.
But
we do have a bit of a bonus. I'm gonna hold your horses.
All right,
he's itching. He's like, I want to tell him. We do have some news for you. Okay, so next week is the final games of the league. That'll be match days 21 and 22. We'll be deciding the winners of the league, who goes through as the top 2, who goes to DreamHack for the playoff finals. The top 6, of course, will go through, and we'll find out which 2 teams have been relegated out of the league. We'll also then be in a position to tell you who's come up into the league from the A Series and the Go4 Cups as well. And, as an added bonus, the 4 teams who finish from 7th down to 10th will have to play off against 2 A Series teams and 2 Go4 teams in the up and down matches, which we'll be broadcasting live the week after.
Yes, that wasn't...
So not the end of the World of Tanks.
Nope.
End of the World of Tanks Pro League regular season next week, next Thursday, so make sure you tune in at 7 p.m. On Monday as well, we'll have match day 21, so don't miss that either, because some big games on that. Alpha versus Lucky Crack is going to decide who's going to get relegated, so massive game for those 2. But the following week, we'll also have World of Tanks action in the up and downs. It's going to be fun.
That will, and definitely because we're going to see the upcoming teams.
Yes, for the first time.
Yeah, and there's some in there, I'd say a bit of a surprise, maybe. Some might have expected.
Indeed.
So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yes,
and then I want to see who goes down. That's
absolutely. I mean, you want to see who's coming up, who's going. We could have 6 brand new teams in the World of Tanks Pro League for Season 2, or we could end up with just 2. But we're definitely guaranteed 2, just with the up and downs happen for the Go4 and the A Series teams. We'll see what class they have. Also, some big news for World of Tanks Pro League right now. Lots of big teams, big well-known clans are currently looking at recruiting World of Tanks teams. So expect some announcements in the next few weeks.
That's right too.
I can't reveal who they are right now because obviously it's very confidential. But I can tell you some very big esports teams with lots of history behind them are taking a very serious look at World of Tanks and want to bring in a team. So you can.
Well, we already have some. We
already have massive. I mean, MYM have been around for absolutely years. Fantastic top team. Have won multiple titles across all sorts of big events in the past. CPLs, WCGs, IEMs. We also have mousesports, of course, in the league. And
MYM is also in the league.
MYM in the league. We also
Virtus
have Asuba. We have Virtus Pro. So we have some really big names already.
Yeah.
But there are more on the way.
That's true.
Yeah,
and the
more on the way. And the more the merrier. So next season's Pro League might look very different on paper, but we might have many of the players and the teams back.
Yeah.
So it's all good. Right, we're ready for game number 2, which will be on Himmelsdorf for our second map for SPALE versus mousesports. Remember, SPALE start this in 7th place before tonight's matches, and Mouse in 3rd, trying to gun for synergy in 2nd place. So let's drop you in to the map picks for map number 2 on Himmelsdorf. And picking will commence momentarily. There we go. Eurofish starts off with 2 T1s. Himmelsdorf, obviously, one of the more popular maps amongst the players. It is the favourite map of 35% of all the players in the league. Did you know that?
No.
I know of the night from StatMatch. StatMatch. Yeah, 35% of the players in the league currently state that Himmelsdorf is their favourite map.
And I think, I don't know the exact number, but I think it could be in the same direction. There's the same amount of players.
It's the highest.
The 5100, like the 5100 is their favourite tank.
Really? I didn't look at tanks, but
as far as I can recall, because I remember typing all of the favourite tanks, and the T32 was picked a lot, the T69 was picked a lot. Yeah. Under the artillery players, the Lorraine was picked nearly all the time. Right. But the 5100 was picked the most, I think.
Really? The 5100?
Yeah.
Not the T52?
No, the 5100.
Okay.
So, and we straight away see 4 of them.
Because like Tier 8, IS3 for me is a better tank. I guess it's horses for courses, but I mean, I'm still a T52, so yeah. I like the T52s. And I like the T1s. I mean, T1s do an important job in the game.
That's the thing.
When you're playing on publics, they never get the recognition. They're like, oh, no point in picking that. You're just going to die after 10 seconds. Stupid. And you're like, well, but the point is, if you spot something and then you kill it before it kills me, then we've done a teamwork job. And they don't. Not always do the public seem to get that.
But what I really like is when I go into T1, and I always hope for a T1 only game. you could just rock them because most of them
T1's a fun game.
Yeah, but most of them are new players anyway. It seems a bit bad because I don't want to be a new basher, but that's the way it is. And actually, then I just like, yeah.
So you're a new basher.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Tank picks have continued at a pace, I might add. Double 5100s from both Eurofish's SPALE and Mouse as well. We've also got IS3 T69 coming in from SPALE with another IS3 added in, so double IS3 from them and a 69 and IS3 from Mouse. Might see another IS3 coming in
complete mirror match
for them as well, and that would be an exact mirror match. Double 5100s, double T1s, double IS3, although there is a T69 in there. And no, they're going to confuse me even more by going for triple 5100s. Yep. Not an unusual tactic, actually, on Himmelsdorf. So that's absolutely fine. So triple 5100s, IS3, T69, and the two T1s for Mouse. And SPALE have gone for double T1, double IS3, double 5100, and a T69. And we're ready for Himmelsdorf on map number 2.
Yeah, again, city map, no artillery, and I'm always going to be in the safe side saying that. Got a nice hillside we just saw in the picture. That's where I saw a lot of action going on from WoT Pro, pushing up 4 tanks up there. I'm not sure if one of these two teams is going to do the same. I think most of the action is going to happen maybe even on the left-hand side. Already see some pings coming on the left-hand side from Ensk. So
there's nothing there, man. Stop pinging.
Yeah. Let's see what they're going for. Well, I was just reading the chat in the training room, and both teams are talking about DreamHack, so it looks like both feel like they're going to be there.
Yeah.
mousesports is pretty sure going to be there. SPALE have got a tough fight, but they're hoping or maybe even expecting to be there. And I love it.
mousesports will be there.
They will be.
They mathematically can't be caught. So they will at least advance via the playoffs. That's the very least that they will do. But they will be hoping that a victory tonight and their victory that they hope they get against MYM in their spare game will take them level on points with Synergy, and hope that WoT Pro then do them a favour by beating the Russian side so that they can advance in second place.
I'm a bit biased, to be honest.
Sorry, SPALE right now, no, they're not going to do what I thought they might do. Instead, they're going to go for a fairly standard-ish.
Yeah, just hold the right-hand side, put a T1 on the bottom.
Yeah, well, they're not going to go for... Yeah, they are going to go for the T1 up the top as well, and the 69 is going to go with them, and they're also going to send Thierry up there as well. So they're going to do what we've started to call the WoT Pro attack.
On the other side, Mouse really aggressive. Ensk going over the middle, just go right up this rubble pile, sticking around his nose in the G line, trying to find out what's going on there, even dropping down on the other side. So there's no safe escape anymore. And he's just going for it. Spotted Vatilla and Mupetti, but I wasn't expecting anything like this. And he just got away without taking any damage, even heading towards the cap circle now. And he just caught SPALE right off guard. The T1 on the other side didn't manage to spot what's going on. Even killed XP2 in his mouse. In his T1, sorry. And gathering enough information to know that there's a big push coming on here from Sports. Puzzling in the cap circle, already putting on some pressure, capping the base, taking some damage himself, but he's safe for the moment.
Yeah, and right now, SPALE have got Puzzling's number because they've already reduced him to 718. We've got Eurofish and Muffety both just edging towards that cap circle. Snip's going to go flying in there as well. Does land one piece of damage. There's another one coming in from Eurofish as well. So that 5100 doing its job. But they are going to get attacked here from Death Noise over the far side. Ensk is coming forward now from Mouse as well. This is a really big push. Time now starting to tick down. 30 seconds remaining for the cap to complete. So SPALE have to get a bit of a move on here. Double shots come in. One lands. The second lands on Death Noise now. He's down to 778. But they still need to kill 3 tanks with 6 different shots. This is going to take some work from SPALE here.
It is also the cap circle is going on. Puzzling still the most... with the most cap points on him, so SPALE has to find the angle to actually decap without losing tank. Vatilla coming around the corner, it's just going to go for it. He managed to decap, really important, but that cost him his life, so I'm not sure if that trait was worth it.
I think they were looking for that, weren't they? They wanted to try and get that. Muppety is actually disabled right now, has lost the ability on the right track. They've repaired it, though, and he's got the shot off onto Snip, who's reduced to just a sliver of health here, as is Puzzling. And the cap on to 18 right now. They still have 2 inside the circle, though, Mouse. I think they feel that they can still win this, but I'm not convinced. I think this is 2-0. Any moment now, double comes in. Eurofish and Dovakin destroying Snip and Puzzling. And Muppety now comes back into the cap circle and will now try and flush out Death Noise. And it's a 5-2 scoreline in favour of the Finns.
Dovakin did such an amazing job. Now Mupetti coming from the back. Managed to detract Death Noise. Luckily for him, he has his repair kit, but that's just going to Give him a bit of time. Dovahkiin now coming in front of front. 2 more shells needed. Final shell should come any moment. Oh, actually, hitting the track, so got away there for another shot, but Dovahkiin set one in his barrel. Finish him off.
Yeah, and 36 points of health remaining for Dovahkiin. Caswob, try and find Caswob for me, will you?
Let's try to click on his name there.
Yeah,
here we go.
Look, oh.
Now for the main event.
Bless him.
I have to say, I'm a bit biased towards SPALE. I'm probably one of the biggest SPALE fans out there.
You're a SPALE fanboy, aren't you?
Yeah, I really like them.
They're very difficult to dislike, I have to say.
Because they're really nice people.
They are very nice, but I'm sure all the players are really nice.
They are.
And when we meet up, it'll all be great. But they just seem to have something about them.
Yeah, and on top of that comes a good game style. Really nice to watch as well. So.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
So, just take you through the statistic. Dovahkiin, 4 for 2,234. Not quite the 5 that we saw last week in the game, but 4 nevertheless. Nice one from him. Agaha picks in 1 in the T1. Nicely done. The 5100 from Uralfish doing 1,442 damage for 1, and the final one going to the dead T1 of Mokalumi. Both T1s picking up a kill.
Yeah.
That's a bonus.
And they both picked up a T1. That means Dovahkiin actually killed 4 tier 8 tanks. So there weren't no tier 1 squeeze in between. 4 top tanks.
Full on.
Yeah, and nearly 2,300 damage. That's a good round for him.
The team who have only lost 1 game in the last 12 are currently facing defeat to SPALE, and they're 2-0 down.
SPALE is also...
Did you really think that's what was happening? I mean, SPALE, let's be honest, SPALE are very much an up-and-down team.
Yeah.
Some weeks they come in and they do some crazy stuff, and it looks really stupid. I remember the game on Airfield where they decided they were going to rush out onto the airfield and
die.
and die, basically. It was like a suicide run.
That was also SPALE'd.
And that was they SPALE'd badly on that one.
Yeah.
But on another day, they can do some crazy stuff like we saw on Prokharovka, which looked a little bit crazy and a little bit risky, but actually paid off. And they see high risk, high reward, but obviously the higher the risk, the greater the fall. And so sometimes we've seen them lose to things like people like Alpha Squad, which they shouldn't have lost to. We saw them lose to Lucky Karaki, which they shouldn't have lost to.
Important points they need.
Important points that they probably should have had already in the bag that would have secured them a place at DreamHack Playoffs. On the other hand, we've also seen them two up against Mouse, beating Dragonborns, beating MYM.
Virtus Pro at the beginning.
Virtus Pro,
the only team who managed to beat Virtus Pro.
Very first match. So, interesting.
That's the thing. That's the random thing about it. As you said, if they would have won against Alpha and against Lucky Karaki, we wouldn't be talking about, 3 possible teams still to be in there. We actually were talking about 2 maybe.
I think we would have been talking about this game, deciding who finished 2nd or 3rd.
Yeah,
exactly. That's what we would have been talking about.
Yeah, on the other side, it's looking good for them now. If they win the last map, that's 3 more points. Really important for the qualification, because the next game would be against 1SPP. Probably, again, it's hard to say with SPALE, isn't it? I'll say probably a safe win, but they lost against Lucky Karaki and Alpha, both at the bottom as well. So it should be a safe win for them, and they should know they need these points, so they're not messing around that much then. But Casno Crew, the final match.
I know. So if they beat Mouse tonight, that would be a surprise result, I think, in the grand scheme of the league. I know, you're a fanboy.
Yeah.
But in the grounds of the league and the form and everything else, when you look at Mouse having only lost 1 game in the last 12, that would be a surprise. They might not have expected to have won that game. So then they have 1SBP and Kasna, and they're both games they can win. And I think right now, in fact, I'm pretty damn sure, because of the MYM result earlier on, that if SPALE win tonight, they go above MYM, which means that then their destiny is in their own hands. Beat 1SBP, beat Kasna, they're in the DreamHack Playoffs.
Exactly, and on the other side, MYM has the game down, have to play against mousesports. It's going to be a really hot game.
But they also have to play Synergy and Virtus Pro.
Virtus Pro, they play today. Dragonborns and
Synergy is the last 2 games,
And that's good. And I can't remember the exact games from Dragonborns, but one of them is Virtus Pro.
Yeah. And last time I think
one of them is Synergy
DB
as well.
Was 3-2.
So. They had to play Synergy. They had to play they had to play Virtus Pro, and I think the other one was it mousesports, the last one.
Are you talking about Dragonborns?
No, yeah.
Dragonborns MYM, I think, is the last.
Yeah,
game, isn't it?
So yeah, it's either mousesports
you're right,
or MYM.
It's mousesports. It is mousesports.
But it's 3 top teams.
Dragonborns have the top 3 teams in their last 3 games.
And that's going to be really hard. So they're going to have a hard life to secure the points.
Yeah, I think SPALE are looking good for a playoff spot.
Looking really good.
I really do. We'll find out whether they can confirm what would be a remarkable 3-0 win against the informed team in the league right now, with only 1 loss in the last 12. It's mousesports going head-to-head. Let's get into game number 3 with the mouse with the mouse picks.
With the mouse picks.
I don't think they're picking any mouse.
You can pick a mouse, but not in 7-on-7.
Let's go into the tank picks then, because that would be better, wouldn't it?
It would be.
For map number 3, and we are on Ensk for our 3rd map.
One SPALE player had a small problem, but rather before the game than we in the game. So
yes, but the side that I gave was because we're on.
Ensk. It's not a draw map.
I don't like
not a draw map.
any map. I know. You know, the guy that made this at Wargaming, right? If he's tuned in right now and he's watching and he's going, that red-eyed guy.
It's a good map for 15
that red-eyed
15.
guy beating up my map. No, it's a great map for 15-15. It used to be a great map for 7v7. But for some reason, with the improvements in the game for esports, Ensk has actually become a map that is boring. I'm just going to put it out there.
Yeah.
For me, it's boring to watch.
Every now and then there's a good game in there.
Occasionally there's a reasonable game on it. I'll give you that.
Well, the biggest problem is, I think one of the biggest problems, what makes it bad, is the skill of the tier 1 players. Because they know how to utilize...
The proxy spine is what cuts off a third of the map.
Exactly. You need one tier 1 tank to just destroy the whole left-hand side.
So actually, you can probably see on the screen right now my little cursor. Okay, so what I'm going to do, this third of the map gets cut off by proxy spotting, right? This third of the map gets cut off because it's the middle, and it's really easy to spot if you want to run between the tracks.
And you also can't drive between the trains
and you can't get through there. And then this third of the map gets cut off because there's so much damn cover.
And another tier 1 there to spot down that road.
Which is why we end up with draws.
And yeah, that's it.
DC for one of them, but picking can. Well, yeah.
Should have paid for internet 3 days ago, somebody wrote.
Oh dear.
Okay,
yeah, so he's back. He's back, so we should get him back into the game momentarily, and then we can start the tank pick. So, what do you think? Map 3, is this going to be a 3-0?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you that confident? I'm
let me
interested. I don't know if we might be able to find out.
Melly's sitting in the cold, you know, because she's right under the AC. She's wrapped in the jacket at the moment.
She's freezing, bless her. I was just going to check in with Melly because I wondered if the community have got any different thoughts to you. Because the community usually are pretty good at predicting these results.
They are, that's true.
And I wondered whether maybe the community thought SPALE would be winning this game 3-0, or whether they put their money on Mouse. What do you reckon, Melly?
We had some 3-2 for SPALE in the chat.
There you go for SPALE.
All right.
That's what I want to say.
Okay.
And the vote is pretty clear for mousesports.
Yeah,
right
that's what I thought it would be. But
what are the do you know the percentage at the moment?
70 to 30.
Ooh. Okay.
Okay.
Just calculated.
So do you want to bet? Do you want to bet on this?
Brains.
Do you want to bet on this?
Thank you, Melly. Do I want to bet on it?
Yeah.
Oh, don't go Carmack on me.
I do want to.
Don't
I want to see you in a
dancing
dancing
I'm not
bees
dressing up in a bumblebee suit. It's not happening. Not on this show. I'm already going to suffer a 1v1 with Melly next week.
I'll just check the maps. All right. So if it's going to be 2-2,
yep.
Matt's going to win it because the last map is going to be Widepark.
Ooh.
And Matt's picked North.
Whoa. Okay.
But the fourth map is going to be Mines. So
I'm going to go. This is Ensk, isn't it? And then what's the fourth map?
Fourth map is going to be Mines.
I'm going to go 3-1 SPALE.
Me too.
Ooh. Okay. We are
because again, if it's 2-2,
exactly.
it's going to be 3-2.
If it goes to 2-2, I think Mouse will win the final map. We are underway in the tank picks then. 250-100s for SPALE to start things off with an IS-3, a T69 tagged along. Double IS-3 for Mouse, and then actually make that a triple IS-3 and a 50-100 to finish things off. There's also a couple of T1s in there and the 5100s at the start as well. So right now, Mouse line up like this. They've got triple 5100s, double T1, double IS3. That's a hardcore lineup for Ensk, as you would expect. On the other side, SPALE, no real surprises from them. Double T1 as you'd expect. They've also gone IS3 and two 5100s, double IS3 now, and two 5100s, but they've gone for the T69 instead of the extra 5100.
Then go for the Himmelsdorf lineup there.
Yes.
While mousesports actually skip the T69 and go for another IS3. No, actually, did they have two IS3s and three 5100s on Himmelsdorf? Or was it, there was a T69 there?
They had...
I had to cheat in that one again.
Triple IS3s, didn't they?
No, they're triple 5100s for sure.
No, they had 4.
They actually have 4. Yeah, they had 4.
They went for 4.
So then rather taking an IS3 more in there just for the alpha damage. Really good.
And we've moved on to map 3, which is Ensk. The toughest city map of them all.
And yeah, we got some action. As we used to talk about the ends before, you got the left-hand side where one tier 1 can destroy, you got the right-hand side where a tier 1 can destroy, and you got the middle side where you can't use. That's basically Ensk summarized.
So what we're saying is that it's a poor map for 7v7. I mean, it's not a poor map. It's really lovely to look at. It's brilliantly designed, but it doesn't work in the current meta of 7v7. So.
But,
it's just the way it works.
Maybe we can just start off on my screen here, because we might be able to see a fast push from mousesports. They started, all tanks spawned on the left-hand side, really close together, so they could just push all the way right through to the, maybe even the top buildings, just because of their top spawn. And it looks like Puzzling would even do that. No, he's turning right before that building block, and it looks like I'm going to just stick in front of it. No, actually they want to go with the IS3s first. Smart decision, just because they can suck up some more shells. And then I have a quite advanced push, but again, one tier 1 inside a building can stop this entirely.
Yeah, so over on the SPALE side right now, we've got Mokalumi heading off to the left-hand side, where we talked about before, to block off that covered third of the map. And on the train platforms right now, Devaking just sitting there, waiting and spotting down towards the cap circle. So pretty standard setup of 2 one side and 5 the other. Meanwhile, over here, we've got WoT just holding back down through the 4 line, and then Thierry and Uralfish sitting together. Agaha spread across the far side. We have seen a couple of shots come out. They haven't connected, though. What I'm surprised about right now is that the T1 of Agaha is not proxy spotting in the middle, and instead he's actually gone to the right-hand side. That seems an unusual position to take up.
But lucky for him, because he managed to spot Snip and Puzzling, and they know exactly where they are now, and that's stopped their push, because they were, I think they're planning on trying to flanking SPALE on their fortified position there.
Yeah,
but that T1 managed to stop it.
Yeah, that's Agaha's view right now. I mean, you can't see a huge amount through that concrete, but he is able to spot, and that does make him difficult to find as well. And he will spot
he's
Snip
not spotted
down
at the
there
moment.
as well. No, he can't see Snip on the screen.
He's trying some prediction shots, trying to find out where he is. Because he thinks if he's up there, he should be able to spot him.
Yeah.
But he's not spotting him. That's why he thinks he might be in some random bush at the bottom. He's shooting at the bushes at the bottom, but he's actually at the top. Just he's not close enough.
Yeah, it's a nice position.
It is. And it's confusing Snip completely, because Snip has no idea he's up there.
Yeah, that's his view right now. That's what he can see.
And another shot at the lower ground again. They still think he's at the bottom,
yeah,
but no, he isn't.
So, nice position from Agaha.
mousesports is now turning around, heading all the way back to the base. Because they didn't spot any other heavy tank, they only spotted the 2 IS3s. I think the 5100s and the T69 might be coming from the other side. They should know, though, their tier 1s won't be able to spot them. That's why I don't understand why they are falling back. They actually are going to K1. This is going to be a draw. Sorry that I'm saying it right now, but all tanks are heading towards K1. Finally, they are moving away from K1, but I don't see this one being being a fast game, because on the other side, looking at SPALE, they're all on B1 nearly. That doesn't look good at all.
No.
What's going on, Paul? You look happy.
It's a draw. There's 4 of them on the B line right now. Only one T69 pushing forward to the D, and obviously that T1 over on the far side locking down the other third of the map. So it's pretty much heading the way that we thought it would head, unfortunately. We could be wrong, though, because SPALE are not the draw team.
They're not. They don't like draws.
Rarely play out for a draw, although being 2 up against the third-place team, mousesports, who, as I said, haven't lost in a month and a half, might just provoke them into playing a little bit more cautiously.
Well, wouldn't that provoke them to play more aggressively? Because I think we can lose this one.
I would have said that would be the case, yes. So we might see something here. I'm confident
that's why
SPALE will try something.
They will just think, well, let's just try some random crap again, and we might lose, but who cares? We were 2 up. Let's just win the next map then.
That's what might be happening right now, because Devaking is making his way forward through one of the side streets. He's now met up with Muppety and WoT. Agaha's going to come across here and try and do a little bit of spotting. Uralfish also on his way here, and SPALE are not going to settle here. They're going to make a little bit more of an advance in towards the E and F lines and use that T1 from Agaha to proxy spot into the side street.
There's 2 options what they can do. First of all,
No,
use
he's
him
going
as
for the
proxy
corner.
spotting.
He's got to go for the corner, isn't he? Well,
yeah, but after he's done that, he's done a job. He noticed nothing's there, and he's going to go first.
That's
to bait a
ballsy.
shot.
That's ballsy right there. Aga's just gone streaming out and is continuing to push forward here. They have spied one, so they've got the IS-3 spotted here. Not a particularly good position for Wattila, but nevertheless, he's going to try and go for this.
God, I love these Spur guys. I had to say that, sorry. But, yeah, it's a good decision with the T1 because, first of all, he does the spotting and he can bait a shot. And that's 1 shot less what they can land on the Tier 8 tank. And he has more HP. So, they're trying to force mousesports to waste some shells here. But mousesports, they're not at the top for no reason. They know how this works. They know what to do. So, they're just staying calm. Talking about calm, we see Carmen here just backing off.
Oh
Nice angling of his tank. He did take a shot, but, yeah, awesome angling. Allows him not to take any damage. The other side, Duvakin in the middle, already took 1 shot. But he should be fine for the moment.
We'll see trees dumping down as they try and get rid of some of the cover back there. Mouse and Muppety waiting to see if anyone poked their nose out into that side street, but nothing doing for him. He has lost a little bit of damage, just 1 shot on him has dropped into 11.22. Eurofish on the side next to him as well, so they've pushed as far forward as they can go without getting into too much trouble. The T1 has spotted the other T1 of Mao's moving forward now, and Kazwab actually wins that particular T1 battle as well.
That was important because they can now start capping on the back end. They actually even spotted the other T1. That's dead now. That means these 2 T1s could just go for the counter cap, what Kazwab is doing. And now we also have the fight with the Tier 8s. Eurofish and Duvakin coming from the side. Carmen and Eliangs actually onto it. Thierry coming over the middle, shooting on Eliangs, doing some damage, but still nothing big happened so far. Not long to go until Kazwab hits a cap circle. He's waiting for his other Tier 1, so they're both going there together. Peter is just following. So both Tier 1s were just going to drive in the cap circle a bit, start putting on pressure, and that's going to be a big thing for mousesports.
It's going to change the dynamic of the game because the 2 Tier 1s from SPALE are gone. They've lost their spotting ability and they've got to push here. I think they realise they've got to push as well. All 5 mousesports Tier 8 tanks pop up on the screen right there as the capture begins. They have 1 inside, now they have 2 inside, and you can see the time left really starting to reduce here and puzzling under a bit of damage. He's down at 177. If they can pick up 1 here, then they can push on towards the cap circle. Snip taking a bit of a shell on the right-hand side. It's Elianks who's actually gone down for Mouse. And that cap circle is getting ever so close now. 27 seconds away from seeing our 2nd full cap of the day. I've only seen 3 full caps in the entire season of the televised games. And Snip taking a double shot. Wattila also taking a big shell. And there's another one destroyed by Snip. The cap is almost complete. They've got 10 seconds here. And I don't think that T69 is going to get back. It's Duvakin who's trying to get back here. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Duvakin into the cap circle and Allied base is captured. Duvakin hasn't been able to get back there in time and he might well pick up both kills, but it's not going to make any difference.
No, it's not. It was a really good play from Eliangs there because he cut off the route from Duvakin who tried to get back, and he had to mess around with Eliangs first before he could carry on heading towards the cap circle. If that wouldn't have happened, he would have managed it in time and decap. So, nice game read from mousesports.
Yeah,
it's what we needed
nice
for our
read.
prediction to be right.
Yeah, and absolutely, it was for the prediction to be 3-1. But that is why mousesports are currently in 3rd place and unbeaten, other than by WoT Pro in the last 12 games. As you can see from the stats, a fair share of kills amongst the mouse team, but not enough from SPALE. Just the 2 from Duvakin in the end, and they were after time. And
even if you would have managed it, looking at he was missing us firepower in the city.
Yeah, they were going down, I think, in the end anyway. I mean, they only had the 2 left with him and Thierry were the last 2 alive. So, 2-1 in favour of SPALE right now. Not the scoreline that we perhaps thought we would get after 3 games, but nevertheless, it's a good match. And we move on to map number 4. And if our predictions are going to be right, then SPALE have to win on this next match.
They do.
And it's going to be Mines.
I think SPALE knows they have to win. And this could mean 2 things now.
Like when you said that to me in the last game, when you made the point about they've got nothing to lose, why don't they just be a bit risky on Ensk?
Yeah.
Is a really good point, because they weren't. They played that much more like a standard Ensk.
Yeah, until the end. But until the end.
Until the end. But actually too late. So
yeah.
If they'd done something crazy at the start, like they did on Himmelsdorf a few weeks ago, which was a really cool tactic, then who knows? They might have ended up winning that 3-0. Now they've kind of lost their one chance to do it, but I can't see them doing something crazy on Mines.
I think Mines going to be more standard, but still they're strong at standard as well. They're not just strong at some kind of crazy stuff. So they could decide it here. But on the other side, on the other hand, we're thinking about Widepark, and it's going to be safe win up north. That's where where this craziness can come into play again.
It's all about the Cookie Monster.
Yeah.
Which we might see again this evening. Before we get there, though, let's head into map number 4. It's on Mines, and the tank picking has begun. Yorfish has got themselves a T2 Light and a 1390 for SPALE to kick things off. And I'd imagine we might well see the same on the other side. What the heck? There's a 50T in there. That can't be picked. What is he doing? That's got to be a troll pick, surely. The T2 Light and the 1390.
Yeah, it wasn't called. I think he just forgot to... Oh, no, that's actually the admin. I just know it is. It's Kopchenko. He's actually our admin. Fine. I don't know why they put him up there.
I think they have to drop him. Mouse, you're not allowed to play with 9, sorry.
Bro, he's in the old...
FCM.
No, he's in the old clan from mousesports. There used to be Lemmy Train, and this guy.
Oh yes, of course.
Yeah, so yeah. Maybe they want him, but no, he's my admin. He's not playing. I need him. So just waiting for him to be knocked down, and then I actually won't do. Just wait for mousesports picks here. So as you said, T2 Light and a 3090, pretty much standard again on Mines.
Yeah, T69 is not unusual either, and that's what's come out from Mouse. They've also got a 1390 alongside that one.
And the T2 Light is a pretty good tank from the north. We saw many times that he just drives all the way down to the left-hand side and just annoys one T8 tank.
Yep, 69 is pretty popular on Mines, and SPALE have gone for 2 more. That's
a lot of T69.
A lot of T69, yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking. So triple.
Oh no, sorry, no, actually, it was Mouse Core with a T69, so they got 2.
Oh no, you're right.
Yeah, two still fine.
Two still. Yeah,
we wouldn't surprise you if they called a third one.
If they call 3, I'd be like, what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you usually have 2 T69s around the middle.
Yeah, and so yes, you're right. Sorry, it was my bad. Mel's actually called the 69 with the 1390. It was SPALE that started off with the T2 Light and a 1390, and now they've added the 269. So that's their 69s in the lineup. And there is Ensk doing the same thing, because they now have 2 69s in their lineup for Mouse, and they also have a T2 Light. So we've got a mirror match so far.
So far.
Even though the picks wouldn't suggest that. Here comes the changes, though. Storm Panzer 2 and T52 for SPALE. I've got a feeling Mouse are going to match this one as well.
I think they might go for the Bison GW Panther.
Do you think so? No, I don't think so. I think this is a mirror match.
It actually is, so far. They did call the same tanks.
Yeah, Mouse going for T52 and
so
a Storm
down to the final
2.
tank, 1390. Yeah, pretty much as expected, I'd say. Yeah, it should be.
Yeah,
5100 won't make no sense. A T69 won't make no sense.
And the 69 would be too much. So it's going to be a 1390 last pick, and we will have an exact mirror match unless we get something crazy.
A tier 8 artillery.
A tier 8 artillery right now would be a troll pick. I was thinking more like maybe the WZ, but you know.
No, that would be good. That would actually be. It would have been an interesting.
I think it would work on Mines. I think we've seen it on Mines though, haven't we?
I can't remember. Yeah, I think once.
Yeah, I think we've seen it once. And I don't think it worked. And you made the comment that, yeah, maybe we don't have the Chinese tank on Mines again. So we do get 1390. Yeah, so pretty much as we would have expected for the 2 teams. They've gone for the tier 3 artillery and added in a T2 Light and a T52 to get them to the 42 points, that magic number.
So that's
we are ready.
So that's 2 T69s, 2 T69s, 2 AMX 3090s, a T2 Light, a T50-2, and a Storm Panzer 2 for both teams.
Yes, as we move on to mine.
I'm just going to ignore this every time now. I'm even get comments like, Sneagle is a bad nickname, you should never mention it. I was like, oh, I didn't pick it.
So I made it precious.
That one's better. But yeah, Mines, middle. We got the middle as usual. You're going to see the T69s heading up towards the middle, just peeking around there, maybe usually look towards the left-hand side of the map, at the point of view of the mini-map, just sniping around there. And T2 Light's going to meet on H1. Also pretty standard. He's going to have that T2 Light from the north position just charging all the way down there, stick at the corner, and the other one's going to just sit on the higher ground behind the rocks to make sure the artillery won't hit him. And we had 3090s. We have to look what they're going to go for. You already have one 3090 on the sides of mousesports heading towards the Italian village, backed up by the other Eliengs, over 3090 driven by Eliengs.
It's always Italian villages with you, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to stick with it.
Yeah.
Even though you every time say it's Spanish, I'm saying.
We do have a little bit of early damage done onto Snip, who was motoring his way through into the middle in that T-52, but he's already taken a smack full of damage. In fact, he's way down to half, thanks to WoT, who's made a very big push early on. I don't think he can see him on the top of that hill. No, he can't now. So he's going to have to... well, he's got cover there, so I suppose he could stay there, but that 52 could be quite dangerous. There's also a T2 Light that's been spotted as well. Artillery being called in on top of these guys, and yet no damage done to SPALE whatsoever. So a good start from the Finns.
Yeah, definitely good start for them. It looked like mousesports is going to try some kind of push over the village, but Puzzling actually then just stopped just the moment he exited the village. So no aggression coming on at this point, but I'm ready to do some kind of push. He's back. He's directing his tank towards the village just in case, as long as they don't decide to do push, just in case he can escape if needed. Well, at the moment, Snip did back off. Bit lucky for him because the other T-50-2 from Mopetti was going to hunt him down.
You can see the barrel of the Storm Panzer II right now, just twitching on your screen, or you could do.
There we go. Trying to find a shot.
We don't give the artillery a huge amount of airtime, I don't think.
No,
because they're fairly boring and they're static, and you don't really see what they're doing. But they actually are a really important part of the team.
Yeah, I'm looking for a mod where we can actually finally look at their point of view. Still haven't got my fingers on it. I've heard there's something out there, but it's really hard to get the fingers on it because...
It would be nice. Here's the suggestion I would like, right? So we've got the view right now of the Storm Panzer II. When he fires, I want the camera to track.
That would be good as well, wouldn't it?
And then see where it lands at the other end. And just be able to press a button to see where it lands as you follow it through. And it takes you through the sky. I think that would be amazing. And then we'd actually see some of the cool one-shots that Dr. Chu does.
What he always says he does. What we haven't seen so far.
I knew that would come back. I just gave you that opportunity to troll him again. So nothing doing so far from either side. We're 7 minutes and 15 seconds away from the end of this fourth map. A little bit of argy-bargy there between WoT and Thierry in the 69s.
This is one of the games where SPALE can't troll, where they can't mess up, where they can't do no random stuff. They need to concentrate, they have to focus, because they need this win.
But I tell you what, they've started to do something a bit funky here, because look at this. Dvakin in the 1390 alongside Mokalumi and Agaha have all made their way up onto the Lighthouse Island. And now that's unusual for the team that spawns south. It's quite usual because it's a much shorter distance away. You can see the cap circle fluttering away on that red flag just in the distance there is much closer to this island. So you usually see the north team lock this down with at least one spotting tank, and then you never get up there. But look at it, they've managed to get 3 up here.
We've also seen some pushes from the north side as well, going all the way down, but we've never seen anything coming from the south side. We have to watch out though, because Peter, he's in his bush on this island, and he's going to be hard to spot. Aguila is now going forward. He knows he's spotted, so that's an important information for him, and he does now spot the T2 Light. That's the important thing. Dvakin has to kill him, because it looks like the T2 Light can't do it. And there we go. Dvakin does connect the shell, and that's good. But on the other side, he did take some damage.
Yeah, a little bit of damage done. Artillery coming in on top of Mokalumi. Dvakin, get out the way, man. Jesus, let him through. Otherwise, you're going to get your teammate killed. Somehow, Agaha has actually lived to tell the tale right now. We're going to join him, and he's right on the edge of the cap circle. That was a cheeky little run, wasn't it? How did he get through there? He's somehow taken some damage. Oh, that would have been from the other T1, of course, that was in the bush.
T2 Light,
the T2 Light, rather, yeah. So that's why he's down to 79.
He's trying to get the artillery, but the artillery isn't there, so...
yeah, he's not going to flush that out. So he might as well just stay here. What happens?
But this is interesting now. If you see, he's going to head towards the next bush in front of him, and he can sit in there and only be spotted the moment where the other tank actually enters the cap circle because of the spotting range. So if he sits in there, he can buy so much time, put up so much pressure to force the mousesports team back. But he's going to wait for the right moment. He's not going to do it now.
Look, we've got some artillery movement here. Uralfish is actually on the island and using it for artillery.
Yeah, we all saw that in the first game from SPALE. But now, actually, Ensk managed to take down WoT in his T50-2. Important kill for them. It was time to catch up. They managed to keep their T50-2 alive. He would have been needed for a push, in my opinion. Because they got this T2 light up in the cap circle and they're ready to put him in the cap circle, they would have needed this T50-2 to stop the other one coming back and decapping. Now that he's gone, the enemy 50-2 can be the saving tank here.
So,
but Puzzling took a bit of damage here himself. He's on 601 HP, so 500 HP already down. I think the one artillery shell managed to connect, and also a normal shell. So that's a good shot for, good situation for SPALE so far.
yeah,
I'm not sure if they're aware of it.
Well, SPALE are not aware of that, but they are starting to push forward. There are 3 of them here. There are 3 of them here waiting to make their move, and they have found that T2 light of Agar. So
that's
going to call the arms to action now, and SPALE are going to have to make a move. They do so in a 4-tank line, already hunting down on Death Noise. Artillery being called in on that area as well. Widepark lands the first strike, then the strikes come firing out, shells landing left, right and centre. Death Noise will go down to the hands of Dvakin's barrel, and Ensk has also taken some damage. Christopher's also gone in there as well, but here comes the return fire. Carmen picking up 1. He's destroyed Mokalumi in that Storm Panzer 2, and now SPALE are on the retreat here. Look at this, having to go backwards down the hill and in reverse gear right now. They are 4-2 down, and the tier points are clear, and mousesports have an advantage.
Oh, they do. That's a big, nice focus fire from mousesports. They just stay calm, even though a big push came around the corner. Managed to take down 1 tank straight away, but then the return fire came. Artillery finished off 1 tank, and then Dvakin got tracked. He was sitting in the open. All tanks had the possibility to shoot at him and just finish him off.
Just staying with Illfish right now, who's got a bit of a nose for snip, but that spot has gone. And he did knock a tree down to give him a little bit more vision, but he's well camouflaged. But the trouble is, he's lost sight of that T52, which has already disappeared over the far side. So SPALE in a bit of trouble here. Now they've spotted it again, so I'm going to go back and see if he can land any damage.
He hasn't spotted, he's just guessing. Snip shot in there. Managed to connect the shell, but he doesn't know he did connect that shell. And now in the middle, T69s are going to be pushed by the tier 8 tanks from mousesports. Thierry's still full HP, so he's safe for the moment, but he has to watch out. There's 3 tanks who actually want him.
Now does take a little bit of a damage from Carmen. Thierry did a really good job of landing the first couple of bits of damage without getting any of his health lost. Artillery comes striking down right next to him, doesn't land though, and then Thierry does land another shell, and he's landed 3 on these 2 tanks, so he's done a really good job. Now here comes the cavalry in the form of WoT, who might be able to pick up another kill here. He's bumped in and then gone immediately down. That's poor, and Ensk picks up an easy kill on that tank, and SPALE now are in a huge amount of trouble because they're at a 5-tank disadvantage, and Thierry, well, which one of them is going to kill him, I think, is the only question we've got left remaining. But this round is going to Mouse with 1 minute and 40 seconds remaining. And there it is, confirmation of a 7-2 win. And that ties us up at 2-2.
Oh, man, it's bad.
Both of us were wrong.
We were. And this is bad for SPALE at the moment.
It is bad for SPALE, because not only have they lost those last 2 maps, but we're now going to move on to the Cookie Monster Park, where they don't spawn north, and no team we've ever witnessed in the league matches that we've televised has ever won from south on Widepark. Right.
We saw one team doing really good. It was looking good that they could possibly win it, but then at the end, north still managed to... no, we did see one. I remember we did see one. We did.
No,
and I was
not from south.
Hang on, you sure about that?
No, absolutely. We saw one team try and do something really crazy, and they nearly won.
Yeah, that's a feeling. Was it a nearly win?
It was a nearly win, because they pushed under the arches with 3 tanks. And I can't remember who did it, but it may have been Lucky Karaki or Alpha, or someone's trying to do it, 3 tanks under the arches on the left-hand side from south. And if they'd managed to get through without getting hit, they would have actually then flanked them, because they were actually on the side, but they got spotted by 1 tank, and then they all got in each other's way and got destroyed.
I'm thinking of a game of Mousesports where they actually managed to do it just because they pushed.
Maybe. I mean, not in this league that we've televised anyway. Not this season.
Can't remember.
But I'm sure if someone wants to correct us and come up with a video on demand, pop it into Twitch chat and prove us both wrong.
But after throwing a big but there, Dvakin from SPALE just wrote, Widepark is our best map. And Eliang says unbelievable.
Yeah. Okay.
And they're starting south as well. Oh, so SPALE starting south and saying it's their best map.
Yeah, okay. We'll see how much trolling that really is. Okay, so we're ready for tank picking, so let's get you into this 5th and final map of the night. And four quick maps this evening. And no draws on Ensk, so yeah. Could have been a long night if we'd been stuck on Ensk, wouldn't it?
If we were stuck on Ensk with... I'm not going to finish. I'm not going to finish.
SPALE says you can't trick us after they said tip for you. Gruely.
7 Togs. Togs is probably one of the worst tanks in the game.
Yeah.
It's an English tank, by the way.
Yeah, but I know, and he's put 7 times.
Yeah.
7 Togs.
Can do that?
Don't think so. Okay.
I want a fair chance. Yeah, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Right, let's wait for the picks now after they finish off their trolling.
So first pick was Tog, right?
You still got your caps on?
No.
Well, the first 2 actual picks, it would have been nice seeing a Tog, but I think we can look forward for the last game in SPALE.
Yeah,
managed to qualify.
we should explain as well. We did throw a gauntlet down to SPALE. That if they were in a position for their last game, for one map only, they would play with a complete English tank lineup.
But only if they don't screw anything else as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nothing. As long as they can't affect any positions in the league with either them or the other team, they would play with a complete lineup of English tanks, just to prove that I'm a complete idiot when it comes to World of Tanks, and I have no idea what I'm talking about, because I challenged them and said there was no way they could win with a complete English tank lineup.
And I think SPALE can make it happen.
I think if any team in the league can make it work, it's those guys.
Yeah.
So we're well underway in the tank picks. Double T1 from both sides, double 5100 from both sides to start things off. And we will be underway on Cookie Monster Park, as it's become known in the community over the last few weeks. Mainly because if you look at the green flag, you can't really see it on your screen right now because it's quite small.
I might have you on. I still have you on Twitch.
Have you still got your old picture?
On Twitter, because I don't get many tweets with me, not like you.
Okay.
You know, I'm a lonely person. Well, if you can follow me out there.
Mate, I don't know if you can put us on camera for a minute.
I
don't know if you can pick that up. It's the world's smallest violin, Stephen.
But you can start following me if you want to make me feel a bit more important. Add Sneak91. Producer, put it in there, put it in there, put it in there.
No, don't do it.
Oh.
So what's this tweet? Show us. What are the tank
I'm
picks
just looking for it, but he might not just put me in the tweet there as well. You know, just
final tank picks, by the way. T69, T32 for Mouse, T69 IS3 for SPALE, and a T32 for Snip in Mouse. So we're going to see 2 T32s for Mouse, which is great, and a 5100 for SPALE to finish off the tank picks. And this is why we call Widepark the Cookie Monster Park, okay? So this was sent in as a tweet by Hector from Wargaming. And what you can see on your screen right now is Cookie Monster, but his eyes are not his eyes. They are from Widepark. They are silos, apparently, I've been reliably informed.
That's right.
But that's why we call it Cookie Monster Park, because those actually look like the eyes of Cookie Monster in the middle of the park. I think it's sort of helped by the fact that the green south spawning flag is in there as well. But good fun to have stuff like that. And if there's anything else you ever see on the map overlays and you think, actually, I can see, it's like a shape in there. It's like clouds in the sky or something. You know, I can see horses or something. Then, you know, send us in your tweets. And who knows, we might feature them on the show. We are almost ready to rumble on the 5th and final map of the evening of our second matchup in Matchday 20. Just 2 more games to go after tonight. And when we join you on Monday night, it's going to be an absolute cracker between Lucky Karaki and Alpha to decide pretty much who's going to be relegated out of the World of Tanks Pro League on Monday. And also, on Monday, we'll go through all of the teams to see how they can qualify for whatever they can qualify for, because I tell you what, there's something to play for every single team still. We are on our 5th and final map. It's Widepark.
We haven't seen Widepark for a long time now, haven't we? It's been voted out quite a lot of times, or it's just the game's finished way too early. Widepark, some might say it's a bit favourable for the North position, just because nearly every game we saw North won. But I think that's a rumour. I still have hopes that the...
Wait, hold on. We say it's slightly biased to the North?
Some say that. I still disagree.
I would say it's 90% biased to the North.
Nah, no. I can't agree on that. It's just a coincidence that the North always wins.
Really. We'll see if that comes true. We're underway then. It's 2-2 between mousesports and SPALE. Big matches for both of these teams right now. Mouse trying to keep the pressure on Synergy to take second place in that automatic spot at DreamHack for the finals of Season 1 Europe World of Tanks Pro League. And SPALE desperately trying to stay in touch for the playoffs themselves. Really, really need this win as well. So massive stakes on the line for these two. It could make such a difference to the rest of their seasons.
We can see the tank picking what the strategy is going to be. SPALE going for more the standard lineup, what they can use to put pressure on, and on the other side we see the T-32s actually that can defend behind the tracks. At the moment, that's what we see at the moment as well. We see the T-32s in the middle just to keep their eyes open, maybe connect 1 or 2 shells, and just peeking out with their turret will keep them safe. 250-100s on the left-hand side of the map. Sorry, on the right-hand side. We'll always talk about the point of view of the mini-map just to not get you confused. You have on the right-hand side of the map on CD0, around that area. Just, I think they're ready to help, depending on what's going to happen. They're not going to push anywhere, just going to be ready, just in case. Peter in the bush, looking out, and on the other side we just see Carmen keeping his eyes open and seeing what's going on there. But in the meantime, they did manage to spot 2 tanks in the base. IS-3 and 50-100. This could be good information for mousesports. This could mean like, okay, they're just going to turtle into their base.
Indeed. Let's switch over to SPALE. I'll show you their setup right now. It's going to be fairly wide because they're so spread apart. But they've got an interesting setup in that they've not gone for any crazy 2-line attacks, because we've seen a couple of those end in disaster. They haven't attacked the track on either of the embankments either. And instead what they've done is they've sent Mokalumi over on the right-hand side of your screen to the track so he can spot the entire length of the track back up past the lake. They've kept Devakin back just to help any invasion on the right-hand side. He's sort of around the 8-column limit. And then what they've done is they've put Agaha and Thierry right at the back of the map in cover, waiting for any attack. They've then split the other 3 towards the cap circle. Watilla, Euroffish and Mupti are all over that far side. They're basically waiting for an invasion.
They are,
and they're going to get one as well.
Come. T69 is pushing forward. Mokulima,
wow.
Important position there, and now it's down to SPALE to connect the shells.
That wow wasn't because he just killed a T1. That wow was because the T1 spotted 4 of those tanks all the way along the tank line. So he kind of did his job to give them some early information of where those tanks were positioned.
Yeah, but it was lucky for Iliengs that I was about to say that he get out there without taking any damage at all, but Eurofish didn't want that to happen. Peeked around the corner, didn't manage to connect 1 shell and get away without taking damage himself, so he's fine for now. 1 shot damage onto the T69 can help, but not that big at the moment. Christopher now in his T32 is coming towards the left-hand side, and Snip should follow pretty soon as well. Definitely should think about it, and then we might see a big push all over on the 0 line. Pings are going on to D8. I have no idea why they're pinging the lake. I think they could. Puzzling also took a lot of damage as well, just noticed. He's down to 800 HP.
Yeah, well, Devakin was nicely positioned for that, so
yeah.
Not surprised that he did get some damage off. Yeah, there's nothing but fish in the lake, and there's no tanks in there, so
no,
pinging D8 is a bit odd.
Maybe they want to get tier 1 on that small island, I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe.
But now mousesports actually splitting. They've got a AMX 50-100 up on A8, 1 and A3. And the T69 now heading towards D1, D2.
and the SPALE guys are pinging A0. Figure that one out. Figure that one out. Seriously.
I think maybe mousesports going to go for a draw now because they took so much damage. And they feel like, well, if we push, we took so much damage, we can't actually win it. So let's go back to 0 and try again. Because it doesn't look like SPALE is going to make any kind of move.
Well, you say that. But actually, they've all started to group up on the right-hand side of the map.
This is scaring me.
Yeah, they're all going through the 9 and the 0 column right now.
Iliengs is trying some blind shots down the 2 line, hoping to maybe hit 1 tier 1 or something, but there's nothing going to be down there. Maybe even trying to hit a tier 8 tank sitting at the corner, but and he won't be hitting anything.
Watilla is starting to make his way forward to the old warehouses.
He was spotted.
Was he spotted?
So that means he won't be followed. That's a good thing, because if he knows he's spotted, it means something's around here, and that's going to spot all the other push. And if this push gets spotted, it won't work. That's the thing. It can only work if you get through without being seen. That T1 being seen means no way, guys.
Yeah.
Would I still do it?
I'm going to stay with the wide camera because Muppety is starting to join them. We've got 4 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. Sorry, 4 minutes and 50 seconds remaining. So just over halfway through Widepark, our 5th map of the evening. And tension building here for both mousesports and SPALE. It's at 2-2 right now. Some some shots fired off from Thierry all the way over, and it did do a little bit of damage as well.
And how the push comes, both MX-5100s are going.
Yeah, they are. Eurofish, Aga also making a position change as well here. Aga actually taking some damage. Watilla's down there as well. Devacking sort of involved. And they've spotted Peter and Death Noise over the far end of the train.
That's good that they spotted Peter. That's to kill
really
Peter.
Good. They do have to kill Peter. They've also got Carmen to deal with as well. But Watilla is the last T1. If they lose him, they've pretty much lost any speed and spotting ability on this right-hand side.
That's for both sides.
They're almost committed to doing this now. They've got one over the far side of the train tracks, and Devakin isn't far away from joining them. So I think if they get a kill out of this, if they destroy one of the tanks, I think they might just go for this.
Yeah.
3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining now.
That tier 1 has to die. Peter has to die. If Peter's dead, this push can be really strong push. But Peter's still around there. But they haven't managed to find an angle now that they can start shooting without taking any damage.
Yeah, there
but
is
the
that
shots
T1.
are coming. The shots are just flying in.
Yeah.
Now you can have a quick spin around and look at the other tanks behind him. If any tank did take damage from these random shots, but it looks like they're
I'm pretty sure they didn't. No,
yeah,
they're all good. They're all good so far.
Yeah, I think it's a T1 at the moment doing that.
Yeah, we just had that one T1 down, which was Mokalumi, who's gone. It's not enough to give either side a victory just yet. And again, Peter spotted, but Wolfish not able to get that shot off here. Now he does fire off one.
He can't try too many shots though, because as soon as they know he's on reload, that could mean the counter push comes. Still trying to take that down at tier 1. On the other side, Carmen was spotted. He did try some kind of cheesy push around the back. Maybe tried to cap, but he was spotted, so he didn't even bother carrying on pushing there himself. And now Christopher and Death Noise both in this corner. It looks like it's heading towards a draw.
It does, unfortunately.
Maybe this was going to become the new draw map. Oh man, my map pool is going to be so different for next season. I have to do so much thinking about this. But for now, things seem to calm down.
Yeah, they do. It's a bit of a stalemate right now. Proxy spotting all over the place. The T1s are facing off against each other, but not facing each other.
That T1 is really important for mousesports. It's actually saving them at the moment.
Yeah, giving them a lot of information that they need.
Because the only way they can kill him, they have to come out their cover. And as soon as they come out their cover, that's going to kill them. And they know that. That's a problem. They know they can't kill this tier 1. Maybe they can sacrifice their own tier 1, but on the other side, that'll be bad. That'll be a bad call as well. Is it really worth trading that tier 1 for their tier 1 because you're losing your spotting abilities?
Out over the tram tracks in the city centre for Muppety. Past the town hall for Devakin.
This is going to end bad.
Is this going to be a sneaky run down the left-hand side? It is going to be a sneaky run. I think they were trying to spot that T1 and just get rid of him, but there's only 90 seconds left, Stephen. So really, would you want to try and do this now?
No, I think they was also maybe thinking about doing some kind of counter push onto that TC line, but they are doing a lot of damage.
That was a really nice shot onto Ensk though from Muppety.
Another shot connected as well. Managed to take down his turret. So he can't turn his turret anymore. Turning speed is down. Tracks are down. His fuel tank is down as well. So a lot of damage been taken, and also down to 600 HP. Puzzling also down to 600 HP. Shouldn't this be the moment where SPALE should start pushing?
My word, 60
1 minute
seconds.
left.
Yeah, 60 seconds to decide which of these two teams wins.
Tier 1 for tier 1.
It looked like a straightforward Mouse victory this evening, on paper at least, but it's not gone that way. It's at 2-2 right now, with 45 seconds remaining to decide who picks up the vital 3 points.
They might try to just kill one tank here and then get out of there. This could work. If they would just wait for like 10 seconds or something, just go over there and kill.
Oh my goodness, I think they've spotted. Well, Death Noise has shown up. I don't know if he's shown up. No, he hasn't shown up to Devakin and Muppety just yet. They've pushed 4 tanks over on this left-hand side now. Thierry, Eurofish, Devakin, Muppety does land some damage. No, didn't land a shell onto Death Noise. Really big opportunity for them. With 17 seconds remaining, they are literally sitting here waiting for any sign of a Mousesports tank, but I don't think it's going to come.
No, it isn't. Maybe what they don't know, of course it was easier for us because we know what's going on. They should have just pushed straight forward and take down one tank up there. They knew 2 T-32s in the middle, so 5 tanks going up there is going to be 5 against 3. That would have given them the opportunity to kill 1 or 2 tanks. Unfortunately, they just didn't do so. Bad luck, and it ended the draw.
Wow.
We'll be talking about fast games today.
I may have put a bit of a mocker on it.
Yeah.
It may be my fault.
Everything's your fault.
Yeah.
If something breaks, if something breaks, I'm just going to point at you.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay, that's good.
I'm okay with that. So a draw in our 5th map. We will replay.
That's a pity though, because it was looking really good for mousesports. For SPALE. If you look at the damage, 443 for Thierry, 430 for Mopetti, 562 for Agar, and Eurofish doing 327. While on the other side, only Iliangs managed to do 369 damage.
And this is why in Season 2, tier points are not going to be the decider. Damage should be.
It should be, but it's going to be hard.
But if you did damage, then neither team know. The tier points they know, whereas they don't know who's won via the damage until they come out to the thing. I think that would be the better way of doing it.
But don't you think that can end up like kill the tier 1 and then just kill the tier 1 and then start camping?
No, why? Because they know they've only done 115 damage.
But that's enough. They've done 150 more than the other team.
Well, they can camp, but then they're going to get found.
If they camp long enough.
Nah, no one would win after winning a T1.
For example, on the Himmelsdorf, you drive up the hill, manage to connect 1 shell, do 300 damage, and then just back off and start camping on Himmelsdorf. Himmelsdorf is hard to break a camping team.
Yeah,
so this 1 shell, just only 1 shell, nothing else happens in 10 minutes, decide a game. So it is in a later game.
I'm making light of this, but actually it's a very complex issue.
In a later game, it could make a difference. Then that's where you think, all right, damage could be clever, but then you always, like, there's so many situations where, like, 100 damage, and that's like...
We do need to find a way of having a draw breaker, though.
We do.
In a better way than
in the other tournaments, we just have basically, you have 1 draw, 1 rematch. If it's draw again, both out. That's simple. In the Pro League, unfortunately, also not that simple. I mean, the other idea that we had, that we discussed a little bit about, and I hope I'm not giving too much away here, because none of this is decided by it was just us thrashing our thoughts out, was that if it's a draw, then it's a draw. And we move on to the next map, and each team gets... no points. So in some weeks, you might end up winning 2-0. Or like in football, 1 point for a draw.
Absolutely. Or you get a draw out of it. But if it's, so if you play 5 maps, if we say we have to play 5 maps every night, and you have to play all 5 maps, the score could be 5-0. So that's a big win. Or if you draw 3 of the maps, but you win 2, you win 2-0.
Yeah.
So it depends. And then it brings in a bit more of a, we won 5-0 this week. Last week, we only won 2-1. Because we drew 2 of the maps. So it puts a bit more emphasis on actually winning the map rather than drawing it. But we then might end up with more draws.
That's the other thing. That's the downside of it then, isn't it?
See how difficult it is? We think we've got the answer, but we haven't. Map 5 will be replayed, and we'll just... yes, we are ready. So they were waiting for us, unfortunately.
Well, it looks like they don't want to change their lineup.
Yeah, so no lineup changes and no tank changes. And we are... back underway for map number 5 in Widepark. Let's drop you into the game right now. Between Mouse and SPALE, it's 2-2. If you're just joining us, this is an epic game.
It is, and even though we were saying north side is biased, it looked really good.
We're not just saying it.
It looked really good for SPALE. It was looking really good for them. They managed to need him to take down that tier 8 tank, doing a lot of damage. Let's see if they're going to come up with some kind of different cheesy tactic this time. Maybe like first game all down to the right, this time all down to the left. But I think it's going to turn out to be the same
I think they're going to do the same thing, because there was nothing wrong with SPALE's tactic.
None at all.
Other than perhaps they didn't move quick enough towards the end of the game. If they decided to do what they did, again, similar to earlier on actually, if they decided early on what they were going to commit to, then we might have seen a different outcome. Right now, SPALE's setup looks like it's going to be exactly the same. It is indeed going to be exactly the same.
Same on mousesports side as well. All taking the same positions. This time, Mouse even managed to spot what's going on, so they know that 1 tank's going down there. Eurofish knows he's been spotted. So they should assume mousesports know what they're going to do. There we have a nice overview from SPALE's lineup.
Yeah, you can see once more they've got those 2 at the back. Agaha and Thierry. Mokalumi in the T1 just pushing forward to try and spot something along that train line. And Devakin sent up towards the left. Watilla and Uralfish and Muppety back towards the cap circle. Mokalumi this time has played a bit more of a safe game down towards that bush. Let's just show you what he's trying to get to. He's trying to get here.
I think he's not doing
so
it
that he can see all the way along the track line. That's where he was in the first map, the first run of this map. He was here. They have managed to spot Carmen, though.
The reason why he's doing this is because he knew that Eurofish knew he was spotted early.
Oh, dear. And, yeah, Mokalumi has not spotted anything and has already gone to... Actually, he did manage to ping the T1 and the T69, but he's not going to get any more information back because he's gone. And he is, once again...
But he also knows one shot came from the middle. That's even though he didn't spot it, he knows one shot came from the middle. So that's another tank, what they can pin down. And in the meantime, IS3 was spotted. Petty again, down in the base. But nothing special because he was there in the last game as well and nothing happened there, so should be fine for now.
So once again, stalemate on Widepark.
We see Death Noise sitting in the bush. You can have a look at the hold down position. Since nothing's happening at the moment, you can basically just sit down here. Oh. Something is happening in the meantime, sorry.
Yeah, actually, we do have Puzzling getting shot at from Thierry, and we also have another tank down. It's Agaher this time, and that's bad news for SPALE now because they are 9 tier points behind, and the shot came all the way down the second train track. Carmen's now going to push forward here for a bit more spotting, and he's going to proxy that Watilla T1 as well. Christopher's now moving into position, and I think this is mousesports' call to action. They're about to charge in on the Finns.
Yeah, that's really big blow for SPALE here. I didn't even see that one coming. I don't know how that happened, because all kinds of tanks managed to shoot at him, and they seem to be blocked by some kind of cover. But so it goes wrong. Puzzling on the other side did take a lot of damage himself though, so he has to watch out. Down to 469, and that's the only thing what's keeping SPALE alive at this point.
Yep,
Thierry did manage to take down Carmen in his tier 1 tank.
Yeah, that tier 1's not going to make any difference because we still have those 8 points of difference thanks to Agaher going down, which means SPALE at the moment, who are exceptionally passive, they've got to go and get something done.
I'm confused. How did Thierry manage to connect the shell onto him? That's really confusing me.
Well, I can show you on the screen if you like, because actually he was perched back here. There he is, there's the wreckage right now. And if you can see through, he was spotted all the way through here. Here we go. We'll go all the way through here, onto this second train yard along there. That was a blind shot into the bush from all the way over
but the Carmen's left from you. Have you turned a bit left?
Yeah.
That's where Carmen died there.
Yeah,
Carmen. He's behind the building.
Oh, yeah. No, you were talking about Carmen.
Yes, I was wondering how he actually managed to connect the shot.
He was shot through because that stuff was actually, the wall was knocked down.
Yeah.
So I think the shell may have been I think it was probably just before he got to that point. It was actually probably there.
He just managed to like skid along that building.
Yes,
and
I think so.
Yeah. But now in the meantime, looking at the map, mousesports is just they're just turtling.
Yeah.
And then going all the way at the back onto the A-line.
SPALE have got to make a move here because they've got no option anymore. They're 5 minutes away from losing 3-2 after being 2-0 up. And when they start moving, they're going to get spotted here along this 2 line pretty straightforwardly. There's a T1 sitting on the viaduct at the end of this road who is just going to have lights just blinking all over the place for mousesports as they find out that there's an IS-3, 250 100s and a T69 all coming towards them as Puzzling does take a little bit more damage again.
Yeah, Puzzling is actually fine. Still at 469. So he didn't take additional damage, but 469 is not a healthy amount of HP points, health points, sorry. But now, it's going to be hard to break this, because if you look at Death Noise, he's in this building, from the front, no chance killing him, just because of his turret. And here we go, nice and safe there. We look at the other T-32, same situation. He's also blocking off the cap circle, so no cap. Only way to kill him is coming around the back. Around the back, Snib is waiting, and the other tank's also a bit further behind. So there's actually no way breaking his position at the moment.
No. Meanwhile, on SPALE's side, we've got Eurofish making a bit of a move, moving over towards the 9 line right now. There's a T1 with him, so he's got some spotting ability from WoT. But they've got to start doing something. There's only 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining, and I'm sort of confused. They did start teaming up on the 2 line, and I thought that was going to be the push that they decided, OK, you know what, we need to go and force the issue right now, because Mouse are just going to camp us out. They've got the 8 tier point advantage, so we have to take the fight to them. But they've not done that yet, and I'm almost unsure as to why. I mean, they know what they're doing far better than I do, but Eurofish right now has got to go aggressive and find himself a tier 8 tank. They only have to find one, and we're back to a draw situation.
They should know where they are, because they're spotted at AMX 5100 on A3, so they should assume that the other tanks are there as well. And that's why I don't understand why Eurofish coming over that side, because then, again, they see the T32 in the lineup, and they should know he's going to be in a hold-down position in this small city. And we already see ping there from Mokalimo, telling him he's going to be up in this corner. That's why Eurofish can't come from this angle. He just can't do it, because he should know it won't work. And that's why is he turning around? No, he's going for it.
I think he's going to go for this. WoT's going to go all the way along that secondary train line. Hasn't spotted anything yet via either himself or through proxy. And Eurofish is just going to fly along here on the platform.
And I think he's going to cost him.
And they have managed to spy one inside the base. It's Christopher. But Eurofish only has 932, so he knows he can only take maximum 3 good shells, probably even 2, whereas he's going head-to-head with players who have full health here. And also so he can't possibly win even if he gets the first shot.
And even against players who have a strong position. He's not spotted it. Oh, no, he's spotted, so he has to watch out. Snip is now coming towards them, and Christopher, he's still hauled down.
Well, here they come, because the T69 and the 5100 and the IS-3 are all starting to make their way towards this cap point. And, well, it's now or never for SPALE. They've got to go for this. Minute and 52 remaining. And Devakin requesting fire from, well, anyone, Snip actually, to try and get him down. Death Noise, Ensk and Puzzling, all waiting for the onslaught. Here it comes. And we've got Devakin, Thierry, 1 minute 30 seconds remaining. Ensk starts firing off. Thierry takes a bit of a barrel to the face. Devakin now trying to negotiate his way around the right-hand side. Ensk waiting for him, and he will have to do well, because there are 2 there, and it's 2 versus 2 against these 2 tanks, and I don't know how SPALE can win this. But 1 tier 8 tank would all be capable of doing, and another shell comes off. They've now got 3 SPALE here.
And they'll be facing 3 mousesports in a bit. Ensk is now pushing around the corner, Puzzling is backing him up, Defno's there as well, and they're going for it. They are going to go for it right now. Ensk takes a face for again. Devakin now down to 213. Thierry comes around the corner. He's going to go down, and another one falls. Mouse now ripping through SPALE. Uralfish, the only man to reply back. Muppety's on the back foot right now. There are 3 tanks surrounding him. Muppety explodes in a cloud of thunder. And Uralfish and WoT, the last 2 are alive now for SPALE, but they know that this game is done and dusted. And your winners this week in our final game by 3-2 will be mousesports. That's right. That 1 kill at the beginning, that broke SPALE's neck, because they just gave him no angle anymore to engage from anywhere, kind of. Yeah, I mean, if you check the final results as well, 1,487 damage with 2 for Ensk, Snip with 1,303 with 3 kills, Puzzling 1,885 for 1, and Christopher 1,025 for 1. The only man to put up good results on the far side. Thierry was 1,709 damage and 1 kill. Eurofish picking up 2 at the end, but not enough in the end. But I have to say, it's been a great set of games by both teams. Even though there was 1 draw in there, every game was great tactics again from SPALE this evening. We've seen some really entertaining World of Tanks from them. But mousesports just that little bit too strong. And in the end, we did say, didn't we? Yeah, if it goes to 2-2, it's going to end 3-2. It'll be 3-2 to Mouse. So good effort from SPALE. They're still in the hunt for the playoffs, and mousesports are still in the hunt for 2nd place as well. That's right. Keeping the pressure up on Synergy. 1 quick last check-in with our social media mogul. It is, of course, the one and only Melly, and the community have been proved right, Melly. Yes. The votes haven't changed. Still pretty clear for mousesports, yeah. Too bad. I was actually thinking I could be right. You went 3-1, right? Yeah. Yeah, I went 3-1 that last game as well. So we're both ridiculously wrong. My thanks to Tim, the producer, and to Melly, of course, for social media updates this evening. It was her birthday yesterday, and she's not feeling too good this evening. Got any questions, though? No questions.
No questions at the end either. So we're going to wrap up the show pretty early this evening. Thank you for tuning in to the World of Tanks Pro League. Matchday 20 is now in the history books. Next week, it's the final 2 games of the season. Will Virtus.pro wrap up the championship? Who will be relegated? Who makes the playoffs? We'll find out on Monday from 7 p.m. Central European Time. We'll see you then.